Okay, my people, today I want to say something that I believe is highly important, highly important. And what I'm about to say is something I believe that so many people are very much aware of these things happening, but most of people are afraid of coming on the media to say them because of their own personal reasons. But today I decided to say this because I know this is a major problem. This has been an attack on we the youths. So I decided to say it not because I want to be a hero or because I want to be probably the first to say something like this, but because I need to say it so that people will take caution and be careful of the kind of things they do and the kind of things they say and people they associate themselves with. So today I want to talk about the youths. I want to talk about their struggle. I want to talk about how God sometimes blesses them. Most of them, they go out, they travel out. Some of them are within Nigeria also hustling, and some of us we be able to thank God or appreciate God for how far we have come. But we have a major problem, and this problem we have is I will always blame every of our problems and setbacks on the government, because I believe that the government are the reason why we have been suffering. The government are the reason why we have been backwards. The government are the reason why most of us have been dying untimely. The government are the reason why so many evil things and atrocities that have been happening in the past, and abominations also have been happening. The governments are the reason for all this. I know to a limit we have to blame ourselves, but I tell you that I am quite sure and confident that all these issues and all these problems and setbacks are caused by our failure leaders. They are failures because they have failed us in every aspect of life. They have failed us as a father. They have failed us as a leader. They have failed us as a mother. They have failed us as everything we look upon them to do for us as our leaders. Understanding they have the power to change our situation, but they decide not to do so. Rather, they decide to sit on the money and squander the money and root the money, and at the end of the day, they expect us to fold our hands and watch. Anyway, today I am not here to say politics. I'm here to say something that I need every youth all around the African region to listen. Why I use the word the African nation is because things like this don't probably happen in the Western world, although the Western world have their own ugly side, and their own ugly side is quite different from what is happening in Africa, more especially the black continent. We understand that in the Western world, there are so many ways they settle their own issues. There are so many ways they show their own violence. Western world, I mean, is countries like America, countries like Great Britain, countries like Switzerland, countries like Australia, countries like Denmark, Poland, Germany. All these countries have a way of showing their own grievances and their own anger. These countries, they deal with weapons. All citizens are entitled to self-defense. So in the law of self-defense, most of them are entitled to weapons. But in Africa, we understand we are third world countries and we are very much backwards. And our reasoning is very much archaic, and we wouldn't allow such laws in our continent, because if we do, we'll have ourselves to blame, because we'll wake up one morning and we'll find that we are all being slaughtered. Nevertheless, that we do not have the privilege to protect ourselves by arming ourselves on self-defense because of the condition of our country and how backward we are. We have another dirty way and another diabolic way our people use in defending themselves, which we all know, as black magic. The Westerners' way of silencing their enemy or silencing anyone they feel do not have that spirit of brotherhood. The way of killing such people is by shooting, and shooting them to death and all that. But in Africa, we know how black magic works, and we know how diabolic it is. We know how far it can go. We know how far bullet can go also. We know that bullet has a limit it can go. But we understand that black magic, probably, as we could know, has no limit it can go. So that is why I decided to make this video, because from my own understanding, I have seen that all our men of God, when I use the word all our men of God, I know that there are still some genuine ones out there. But the reason why I use all our men of God is because of the most popular ones, the ones with the too much crowd, the ones that gather millions and billions of people worldwide, the ones that have private jets, the ones that so-called claim to perform miracles and do all sorts of signs and wonders. Since all these so-called men of God and apostles and prophets and so what they call themselves could not help us erase the memory of this black magic with their so-called power they said they have, they say they communicate with God, and as they communicate with God, they cannot sanctify the country, so that the country will be sanctified and dedicated to God, so that we can do away with black magic. Because my reason of making this video is for my brothers and sisters that are out there working hard, suffering to make ends meet, and after so much hard work and suffering, most of them visit their countries with a good will and a good heart to make something positive out of their community. And at the end of the day, we see that most of them do not last up to a week. They will be killed with black magic. Most of them have died untimely. Most of them have died prematurely, both male and female. And this is not something that we have to sit back and watch for it to happen all the time. I have sat back and watched so many of people I know travel back home and not make it back. I have seen so many hustling within Nigeria, and even as they work within Nigeria, with the little they have gathered together, they travel to their village to greet mom and dad and to greet one or two family friends around, and they don't make it back. They are being killed within a week or two, within some days even. So this has been a great concern to me. I know it's not everyone that will have the mind to come up on the media to say something like it, but I have to, so that people will take caution. Since our country has failed us, our leaders have failed us, and now our so-called men of God are highly selfish. All they know is who donates millions and who donates thousands of dollars and millions of dollars, so that they could claim the so-called miracle and signs and wonder they claim they perform, forgetting that the most important thing is to sanctify the land, so that the land will be free of any attack, any spiritual attack. But as we could see, Nigeria is polluted by evil. Evil ruined the whole nation. People are being killed. So many of our brothers and sisters have traveled and refuses to come back because they are afraid of dying untimely. They are afraid of dying prematurely. And sometimes we want to blame them for not coming back, but they have their reasons. So I pray to my mothers, my fathers, our elders in the villages, in the cities, to look upon their children with a heart of love and not kill their own children and not kill their own daughters. Because this is a very serious issue. This is a very serious issue. We, the youth, have to wisen up, because we, the youth, are sometimes the reason for all this. We understand that our country is very backward and is very archaic. Than for us to put our lives together and just focus on what we want to achieve in life, get married, have our kids, and live happily ever after. We want to sample ourselves on Facebook, sample dollars, sample pounds, sample euros. Before you go back to your country, you make a public announcement and come in and all that. Before you go to the village, the whole world and everyone knows you are coming back. And they are getting ready for you. Not all that you see smile with you are your fathers. Not all that you see smile with you are your mothers. Not all that you see smile with you are your friends. So why will you be going back home and you will make a public declaration that you are coming? Considering the continent you are coming from, knowing that these continents are ruled by magic, charms, fetish beliefs is what almost everyone believes. All our men of God are fake. All our men of God are fake. Because if we have any genuine men of God, Nigeria should not have any reason why they should be set back at this much. If they believe that they can do all these signs and wonder, why don't these men of God call down heaven for an intervention to come on Nigeria, and we'll all see it working? Genuine men of God, they ask God for permission. What happened in the time of Abraham? What happened in the time of Moses? In the Bible, we have come to understand that God has used, because of one soul, to save generations. If all these ones claim to be genuine men of God, God can use, because of their righteousness, their open heart, their transparent heart, to save Nigeria. But all of them are all about who will give them millions, like the one I watched yesterday, and I was astonished. I watched a man of God, what did they call him? Oshumolowo, or what they call him. He said, if you know you have lived 20 years in this world, you should come out this side and bring 1,000 naira for each day, each year you have lived, If you want, you can come out and bring $1,000 for each year you have lived. If you like, you can give £1,000 for each year you have lived. Just check this out. So if you are 80 years, you pay $80,000. These things are not accepted. These are not the people God sent to us to redeem us. Men of God are men. Their number one purpose is redemption. Redeem us from our evil way of life to the righteous way of life. Save the poor. That is what men of God are meant for. You save the poor. You give the needy. You give the less privileged. Not taken from them. Nevertheless, this is not the reason why I am here. The reason why I am here saying this today is to caution our youth, to caution our sons and daughters that have traveled outside Nigeria and within Nigeria to struggle to see how much they can survive, because our country is a mess. As you are struggling, understanding that you have suffered in years to achieve what you have at the moment, please, as much as you were careful when you were struggling, try as much as you can to be as careful as how you talk and how you show yourself around, and how you try to influence the world to understand that you are now mega rich. You will kill yourself. You will kill yourself before your own time will come, because Africa and the black Africa and the blacks worldwide are very dark in heart. They are very dark in heart. That is exactly what Nnamdi Kanu is trying to say. He said black men are dark in heart. They are not just dark in skin, they are also dark in heart. So you be careful on people you drink with. When you come back, you should be careful not drinking and walking away and coming back and still continuing with the same drinks and all that. All those people you sit with and drink with are not your true friends. Most of them want to be in your position, but they can't, and jealousy can push them to do something they don't want to do. Than for me to sit back here and suffer, and this guy will just move and travel and come back and succeed, and all he can do is offer me a drink. I better do something to keep him back, so that all of us will be in the same condition, or probably kill him, so I could even be better than him. For a living dog is better than a dead lion. And for most of us that do travel abroad, and to God's grace, we will make a little money and all that. Please, the best way you could show your brother's love and your sister's love is not by buying them drinks. If you want to help a brother, you help a brother. If you want to help a sister, you help a sister. Buying them drinks is mocking them. For the Bible said it, that if you want to know a fool, get him enough drinks, and after drinking, you see him fooling around. When you give them drinks, you mock them. At that moment, they might be smiling with you, but after those drinks have cleared from their eyes, they will tell themselves the truth, that you mocked them. Instead of you showing them the way to make it just as you have made it, you choose to buy them drink. And you think they will not go back and sit down and reason over it and condemn you? No, they will condemn you. So my brothers and sisters, please, it's very important that we hustle, because we understand that that country called Nigeria, I don't recognize it. Me personally, I don't recognize the name Nigeria. To me, the name Nigeria is dead. That country called Nigeria, to me, is dead. I pray that all these so-called leaders will come and sit down and reason and see that the best way out for everyone to be okay is by dividing that country. If they do so, we will all benefit from it. If we have 1 billion naira in a particular nation of Biafra, if we have 1 billion naira in the northern side, if we have 1 billion naira in Oduduwa, it will saturate. Because the way Nigeria is almost 200 million people, the money is not going around. The leaders are not recognizing over 100 million. So those 100 million or more are feding on their own. They are working hard on their own. They are hustling on their own. And those 100 million plus are the people I'm talking to right now. As you are hustling on your own, considering that your country is useless, that you have to survive, please, after you must have worked so hard to earn something for yourself, do not broadcast it that you have it. They will kill you before your time. We have so many problems going on in Nigeria. If armed robbers did not come for you, there are so many other ways they will come for you. And the worst of it all is the black magic. Because if armed robbers come to you and you give them what they want, they will walk away. But black magic do not know if you have or you don't have. Once they have sent it to you, he doesn't care if you offer him something or not. He comes to do his work. So please, my people, and my mothers and my fathers, my elders in the village, in the city and everywhere, please look upon your children with a heart of love. You should remember that you brought them into this world. If you don't need them, you would have flushed them out in your belly. But much as you risk to bring them into this world, what is the need of taking their lives before their own time? If you don't need them, you don't bring them out at all. But you bringing them out is that you need them. And my young ones, both male and female, please, let's also remember our mothers and fathers. So many of them in the villages are feeling so much deserted. Most of them are feeling they don't belong anymore. Most of them are feeling inferior. Most of them are feeling their own children have rejected them. So they have no other thing to reason or think of at that moment than evil. I don't really blame the youth for all these untimely deaths. Sometimes I don't really give much blame to our mothers and fathers, but I blame the so-called leaders that have left Nigeria helpless, that have left Nigeria everyone thinking nothing but evil. All my prayers is that God in heaven, in His infinite mercy, will come and help the black nations. For the black nations are doomed. The black nations are doomed. If you are a man and you have little in your account, just map out 500,000 naira and do a little tour in your African continent. Just travel to those black nations and you will see that they are all one. No one is different from the other. They are all measuring in the same spoon. That means there is something wrong with the blacks. We have to work on our mind. We have to polish our heart because our heart is too dark. For our men of God, enough is enough. Please do not worsen the situation of the citizens. The citizens are already suffering in the hands of the leaders. Do not worsen the situation. Do not take from that poor widow when you know you are not ready to give her. Do not take from that orphan the little she has or the little he has when you know at the end of the day you will not give her the platform to education. Let's stop being wicked, blacks. Please, let's stop being wicked. Let's find reason to love ourselves. Just look at the Westerners. No matter what we think about them, no matter how much we think they are wicked, they are bad, these people are still far better than us. In development, they are better than us. In love, they are better than us. Most of this, like America, you see how much they love themselves. The love is becoming so great that they don't see need to love their fellow men already because they believe it's natural. They are not transferring the love to animals. But we, the blacks, have not even seen any reason to love ourselves, talk less of loving animals. I watched yesterday, I saw Chris Brown, I saw DJ Kelly, I saw, what did they call him? I can't remember, 2 Chainz or some, who was that again? They were all fighting. They were all fighting themselves. That is black for you. How many times have you heard any of these white musicians are fighting themselves? But just to show you that blacks are full of pride when they have nothing, than for them to mellow down and bring their heart down and call unto God to rescue them. Their shoulders will always be high and up. So please, my people, today I beg you, the young ones, the youths, male and female, as you are out there hustling and God is blessing you, please keep it low. Keep it low. Keep it low. Do the right thing and save yourself from dying untimely. Same goes to the men. My guys, my niggas, my G's, as you guys are hustling out there, keep it low so that you wouldn't die before your time. People dying is not even the issue. The main thing is people you kill along with you as you're dying, because millions are loving you for who you are, and you just use because of pride and because of little change you have and just kill yourself before your time. It's people that misses you are the people you are even punishing, not even you that are broadcasting that you are now Omela or Hawan, or you are now Begate. Please, let's stop that. We blacks, let's stop that. Let's not kill ourselves before our time. Our mothers, our fathers, I'm begging you. Please, let's love our own. Let's love our children. I pray that this Zoo nation will one day come to understand that deceiving themselves will not lead them anywhere. Both the Westerners and the Northerners will see reason to decide for all of us to go our different ways. For I know that in a particular gathering, in a particular occasion, that they have events going on, the more they have people in a particular event, the more crowd visits a particular event, there are chances that the refreshment will not go round. But if they are little in a particular event, you will see people eat to the extent that they will go with takeaway. But if it's being crowded, you will see that you wouldn't even go 1/4 of people around. That is what is happening in Nigeria. Nigeria is too crowded for the useless politicians that do not even recognize the effort of their citizens. Nnamdi Kanu said that he has no need for oil. He's a man of parable. You understand what he's saying. He has no need for oil. What is he trying to say? He has no need for oil, because it's not all about having oil. If you have oil and you don't have this, you wouldn't know how to use it. You will waste it. A friend of mine said that having oil as a resource is a blessing to a particular nation. But understand that every natural resources comes with a negative consequences. It comes with a natural disaster. It comes with a negative natural disaster. Countries like America have abandoned their oil for more than 100 years now. Why? Because they know this is the time for the consequences. Nigeria, if Nigeria could not make use of their oil now that the soil is still strong and good, how will Nigeria make it when the oil is no more? How will Nigeria make it when the soil is damaged? How will Nigeria make it when the soil is useless? How will Nigeria make it when we will need to survive through another means? Please, my people, my brothers, my sisters, let's save ourselves. The young ones, please stop publishing yourself. Stop publishing how much success you have, how much successful you've been. Please stop it. You are killing yourself. Our mothers, our fathers, please love your own, love your children, bless them instead of killing them. I pray that God will touch us, touch our hearts and mind, that we will see reason to love ourselves. In the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.